So I'm going to move ahead to the next prompt. Number 2 reads, the lessons we take from obstacles we encounter can be fundamental to later success. Recount a time when you faced a challenge, setback, or failure. How did it affect you, and what did you learn from the experience? This prompt lends itself to consideration of what facets of your personality allow you to overcome adversity. It's about resilience, it's about creativity, and it's about all of these qualities that will help you get back on your feet after you fall down. It's okay to write about relatively mundane failures, like not winning an award at your Model UN conference or something of that caliber. But another perhaps more powerful tactic is to write about something more foundational, where you failed, and then you can assess that base failure and its impact on your development thereafter. There are times in your life when your foundation is uprooted, and there are times when you experience failure and you want to give up because you just don't see a solution. And this essay is about how you respond when you're destabilized like this, and what your actions look like when you don't see an immediate answer. I actually wrote my Common App essay in response to this prompt, and I told several different stories about times I'd failed, or obstacles, or met challenges. I wrote 4 separate paragraphs, each one telling a story about a time I had physically fallen down. And each one was from a different point in my life, and each one was a little more mature than the last. Getting from falling down on an ice rink to falling down in more mature, more considered settings where embarrassment wasn't necessarily the main side effect. I want to go through another example here. For example, if you lost a friend due to an argument, you can analyze the positions from both sides, evaluate your decisions, identify why you were wrong, and the key is explaining your thought process and growth following the event to highlight how your thinking has changed. So if you've lost this friend because of an argument that you had, the growth you can show is realizing, it wasn't worth losing a valued relationship for something so silly as whatever it was you were arguing about. And now in the future, you make sure that you are proactive about your relationships and maintaining them. And you have ideas that you care about and convictions that you hold, but you always evaluate whether you prioritize that idea or the person with whom you're talking about it. Did you ever admit fault and seek to fix the problem? Have you treated other people differently since then? How has it changed the way you view arguments and fights? Framing the prompt in this way really allows you to tackle heavier, more mature questions about ethics and demonstrate a sense of self-awareness that shows maturity and growth. If you haven't experienced a big failure, another angle to take would be to discuss smaller, repeated failures that are either linked or similar thematically. That's sort of like my essay about falling down over and over, being clumsy, and then also being weakened by things. But another example would be if you used to stutter or get nervous in large social groups. This isn't a failure or a failing, but you can discuss the steps you took to find a solution to this challenge. Even if you don't have a massive foundational obstacle to overcome or to write about, a recurring challenge can translate to a powerful essay topic, especially if the steps you took to overcome this repeated failure help expose your character. I'm going to go through an example now of somebody else, not my own essay, but somebody I used to work with described his ignorance of his brother's challenges. And so the writer assumed that because his brother, Sam, was sociable, Sam was adjusting fine to their family's move. But then after an angry outburst from Sam and a late night conversation, the writer realizes that he needs to develop a greater sense of sympathy and empathy and sensitivity. And now he strives to understand and recognize other people's struggles, even if they're not immediately apparent. Here's the excerpt. "You ruined my life. After months of quiet anger, my brother finally confronted me. To my shame, I had been appallingly ignorant of his pain. When my parents learned about the Smith Academy, we hoped it would be an opportunity for me to find not only an academically challenging environment, but also a community. This meant transferring the family. And while there was concern about Sam, we all believed that given his sociable nature, moving would be far less impactful on him than staying put might be on me. As it turned out, Smith Academy was everything I'd hoped for, but preoccupied with my new friends and a rigorous course load, I'd failed to notice that the tables had turned. Sam had become withdrawn and lonely. While I saw myself as genuinely compassionate, I had been oblivious to the heartache of the person closest to me, and I could no longer ignore it. And I didn't want to. We stayed up half the night talking. Sam opened up and shared that it wasn't just about the move. He told me how challenging school had always been for him due to his dyslexia, and that the ever-present comparison to me had only deepened his pain. We had been in parallel battles the whole time, and yet I only saw that Sam was in distress once he experienced problems with which I directly identified. My failure to recognize Sam's suffering brought home for me the profound universality and diversity of personal struggle. Everyone has insecurities, everyone has woes, and everyone most certainly has pain. This experience has reinforced the value of constantly striving for deeper sensitivity to the hidden struggles of those around me. So this person brings up a challenge or a place where they feel they failed, which is being sensitive to their brother's needs and pain. Where this essay might go next is to talk about how they began to address this. Now that they've had this realization, what growth have they achieved in order to become more sensitive? How do they express their sensitivity to others?